That could be.
It could.
Maybe he was, okay, you want to retire? Okay, go for it, buddy. We got somebody that's better fit for that position. Never got a head coaching job after or a job like that after his time in Green Bay.
Welcome to Skol Chat 30. This week we're going to talk about a potpourri or potpourri, depending on how you say it, of Vikings and NFL news as we build up to the Super Bowl. We're going to talk about some former Vikings players playing on some Super Bowl teams, and we'll just kind of recap the scores from last week's championship game and our picks. With that, let's roll into. So I went and I tried to find some memes, but there weren't really many good ones out there. I found a couple, but not since the O.J. Simpson chase has America been so disappointed in a slow white Bronco. It was an oldie but a goodie. And with the pregame band being Green Day and with Bad Bunny being the halftime show, this is what most people would prefer for the Super Bowl halftime show. Weird Al Yankovic over.
What was the name of that one song he came out? I really liked it. He's not a bad singer, really.
No, I mean he's talented, that's for sure. My favorite is Amish Paradise.
Yeah, I think that's everybody's joke.
I know
Flo was able to see or look at each player's abilities and their strong suits and whatever's, and he used that accordingly in his defensive scheme. But if you get a different chin, a lot of the players that got defensive players probably won't fit the new defensive coordinator system. Just like when Donishell came in. In actuality, a lot of them players on the defense didn't really fit, or Donishell didn't look at what their strong suit and whatever play accordingly. He just, okay, we'll just draw a line here. This is what you guys do, and you guys stay way in the back so they can't throw way over us. And so anyway.
He did it by scheme and not ability. I also heard that the other D-line coach, Marcus Dixon, he's been interviewing too.
Vikings?
Oh, wow.
He's been good.
Then I heard talk about,
who is he?
Assistant coach, talk about either promote him to O-line or bring this O-line coach in, or actually he was the OC, offensive coordinator for other team before he became running game coordinator for the Dolphins. There was talk, I think his name is like Jack or something like that.
It sounds like the higher ups really offered Flo a hell of a deal, and it wasn't just to not only keep him because they want to keep the defense great, but it sounds like some people are rumoring that he's the backup if Kwesi and Kevin don't get things together this year.
Yeah, that's a speculation too. So until it comes out, the curiosity is in the contract with Flo, besides being the DC, is he also the assistant head coach? I don't think that's been put out yet, or,
Right.
And I'm assuming it's going to be once they fill out the coaches, it's when that's going to be announced.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't even know. I mean, most of the time I don't even know who it is. And I don't think we've ever had a discussion on who the assistant head coach is until now.
Right.
Well, until this, we were talking about it, like, with Pettin being the assistant head coach, and we started questioning why it wasn't Flores.
The thing is, Pettin was hired before Donishell came, right after, once O'Connell got the head coaching job, that's when put in, wasn't it? Or was it the following year? But something to do, he was primarily given or hired to help in assisting. I think it was actually something like that because Donishell, he was doing things and whatever. I think he was hired during the season because there was, how we all complained about Donishell and the how the defense was and all that. And I think Patton was brought in to coordinate the defense a little better.
I was thinking he was hired, at the early time that O'Connell was in. He just ended up being placed over there with Donachelle when that things weren't working out. I thought he came on pretty early.
Well, he might have, but that been, a lot went on. And this old brain, just can't remember some of them little that doesn't matter to me every day, but but the thing is, that's some reason he was brought in to be sounding board, or what is it called when somebody's brought in for kind of advising or whatever the or whatever. Yeah. I think that's originally why he was brought in, and then he was given he was, that's what I'm saying. He was brought in for advice or as an advisor on different things, especially the defense. And yeah, shift gears because something went on between whatever, it's hard telling because, he didn't come right out and say what, that he didn't want to be with the Vikings and retired. So I don't know what's goals.
They might have used him for the scapegoat for partly for the scapegoat for some of this last season, and also make that spot available for Flo.
That could be.
It could.
Maybe he was, okay, you want to retire? Okay, go for it, buddy. We got somebody that's better fit for that position. Never got a head coaching job after, or a job like that after his time in Green Bay. So that's got to tell you something about his, I don't know.
Yep, having Flo back, though, is a saving grace, at least for the start of our next season anyways, and we don't have to worry about the defense. Got to get the offense straightened back out.
Talked a bit about former Viking or former Packer coaches, but so there's kind of a waterfall effect here. So Mike McCarthy was named the head coach of the Steelers, and there was some reports that he was chosen because they think they're not rebuilding. They think they're, have a veteran roster and that they can kind of continue. And, they made it to the playoffs this year and they can continue if they go with McCarthy as opposed to Flores. And they thought maybe if they were rebuilding more that they would might have went for Flores instead. Any thoughts?
Well, it probably makes sense because Flo being a defensive minded probably would concentrate on whatever shaped the defense to his scheme or whatever. And the Steelers probably didn't want to spend any or too many draft cap defensive players. That's just a guess.
I'm a villain in a Bond movie. Anyways,
McCarthy fits better because Steelers even said that Rodgers would be back, or they'd bring Rodgers back.
Yeah.
Union.
Yep. That's what they're hoping for.
Another year of Rodgers. So then, with that, Durante Jones was named the defensive coordinator of the Commanders. And we talked a bit about that, so we won't get too much into it. I'll kind of maybe splice what we talked about already into it. But yeah, so with that, Flores is officially staying as the defensive coordinator. Won't get too much into that because we already talked about it a bit. Anything else we want to talk about Flores?
Well, the bottom line is I'm hoping they do nothing else, give them the assistant head coach title, since apparently O'Connell and Ford, communicate well between each other and whatever. O'Connell don't interfere much with what Flo is doing on the defense, and Flo doesn't whatever to O'Connell the offense. So why not?
Well, it's good too, yeah. I mean, and I think we touched on it. It's just a good position for McConnell to be in, or KOC, because he doesn't have to worry about it, so he can worry about head coaching and calling the plays. So, and I think that's what he likes about having Flores there.
And it makes sense if, like I said, he becomes an assistant head coach, So to me, I don't know.
Well, yeah, and then like you already alluded to, is that he's kind of a backup in case things don't go well this year with KOC and the head coaching, or because there's talk about Kwesi being on the hot seat. So they're not, tied to each other. KOC, I mean, Kwesi can get fired and be let go this offseason and still keep KOC, but still, if Kwesi's on the hot seat, KOC might be too.
I don't know. I hope he gets his draft an A+ this year because he's sure been toilet since he got here.
Yep.
But I give him a little bit of a what you call it, a pardon, because most of the people that was involved with the draft and they were looking at players that would fit Simmer's defense and whoever the coordinator, they think they flew by night to grab offensive players. But anyways, yeah. So need to get a good grades on the drafting. And I don't know, be honest with you, I think Kwesi ought to quit listening to what's his face, Grip, whoever came from the Indianapolis. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Yeah, Naylor and Ty Chandler are the only players left from the first Kwesi draft in 2022.
You know how many did they draft?
I don't think they had very many picks. I know Lewis Seen was the first pick for them, and then of course he tore his knee up in the preseason, and then
No, he ended up with a broken leg.
well, okay, he broke his leg.
Go out there and break
I
a
think it
leg,
was the
Lewis.
tibia.
It was broken and part of it was sticking out of his leg. You damn right.
We call that a compound fracture in the business.
Yep.
I'm not sure what business, but
Then it wouldn't even have to have magnifying glass to see that.
I think his legs broke real good.
Good. Find somebody else to work on him.
We need to fashion a split quickly, otherwise it may become gangrenous.
Yeah.
So Jerry Rice was interviewed recently, or probably within the last couple of days, and he said Justin Jefferson's the best wide receiver in the NFL. I'd have to agree, and I think Jerry Rice would know.
Well, see, Randy Moss kind of more or less said that Jefferson was, you wouldn't go as far as saying the best, but he ranked Jefferson up there.
Yeah.
All I hear from what I heard from Moss and Carter, that Jefferson is a Hall of Fame caliber player. So I guess that falls in line, the best receiver in NFL. Isn't that how they rate the Hall of Famers as the best players in the league?
Yeah.
Yeah. So there. And Jerry Rice come out saying it. That damn close is saying Hall of Fame player, saying the best. Well, let's hope that they do have a competition with McCarthy, and McCarthy, he's the one that selected to start. Hopefully he takes us to the promised land.
Speaking of non-Hall of Famers, Bill Belichick and Eli Manning were snubbed this year.
I can't understand why I didn't get it. But then again, Belichick, is he really a Hall of Fame coach?
Yeah, he's a Hall of Fame coach.
Okay. I was just asking. I was just wondering. Personally, I didn't really like him.
Well, I thought like when he was in press conferences and like he was like answering questions to the reporters, I thought he like how just dry and surely he was kind of funny sometimes.
No humor, dead serious.
He was probably there just so he didn't get fined.
Then he acted like the reporters were dumb.
Well, you come across those,
What?
pretty much on a daily basis.
Reporters or what?
Yeah.
Or dumb coaches?
Probably both, Daniel. I think both.
You should go with a 24-year-old woman. I'll tell you what.
In most cases, you'd only have to have that position for 1 year. You'd be set.
I wouldn't be able to keep up with a 24-year-old.
I'm talking reporter, coach, but they do make things nowadays. You might be able to keep up with them.
I think all you got to do is give them a phone and they can kind of take care of themselves, right? Give her some Cheerios and a cell phone.
Box spray.
Well, Yahoo Sports did kind of have a headline that said she was to blame for him getting snubbed. So whoever's listening to this can go find that article and read it because I'm not going to.
Well, part of that is because outs have Belichick doesn't get what he wants.
Cheap
Didn't she
outs for him?
Yeah, or something like when he was getting recruited or whatever for the coaching job with whatever college that is. And see, I kind of blew that off in the way down yonder there because that's where it's at, way down yonder.
On the Chattahoochee,
There we go. Somewhere down there. Yep.
North Carolina.
So, but at the time, I think that there was something about what she did or whatever, and in fact, she had to be escorted out of was having like one-on-one reporter with Belichick, and she came on stage, whatever. Anyway, we're carrying on. So she was kind of escorted out. And it's like, okay, that's another reason why I don't want nothing to do with 24-year-olds because would have to act like a grandfather, tell young lady to settle down, mind your manners.
They're saying they're emotionally unstable.
I tell you, kind of reminds me back in the days of some of these actors when I was a kid, they're old and they get these young women. I don't see her, whatever, Viagra as, well, it's not what it cracked up to be, I guess. And how some of these young wives of these old actors in their 70s end up having kids, and it's like, what the hell? Why do you want to have kids at that age? Just because she wants a child. Why she married you? Why don't she go marry someone closer to her
Locks
age?
in his bank account once he got the kids.
Living their best
Well,
life.
that's a lot of it too. Maybe she.
I guess that
Anyway,
was
Guaranteed lock on the bank account then.
He implanted a sponge.
now
You
it's
don't-
just pro athletes and pop stars. No longer I guess other than Leonardo DiCaprio.
well, okay, between what's its name and Taylor Swift, between the two, who's got more money?
Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Maybe 2 times over, even though he makes a lot of money to our standards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't take much to do that.
Well, just think, at 30 years old, they're millionaires. Well, if they know and are frugal and knows how to manage their money, But I tell you what,
What did you just say?
Son that signs a big contract. Who you think it's all there? Their hands up. Hey, brother. Hey, come on, give me some dough, man. Hi, son. I love you dearly. Yeah,
I don't
know
think
they're
you
all
completed
like
a
that.
sentence in the last minute. You're just miming things and making noises. But going back to it, I mean, Travis Kelce's 36, so she's 36 also. But
Well,
he's
at
getting
least they're
towards the end of
close
his career,
together.
so we'll see how long she sticks with him.
Aren't they
But going back
engaged?
to Bill, what's that?
Aren't they engaged?
I think so. I don't know. Are they
Yeah,
married?
or even married. I don't know if they're quite married yet, but I think their wedding plans were get married on Taylor Swift's ranch. Yeah.
It's mighty swift.
Not-
Well, yeah.
I've been
Do
keeping
their
up to
own.
date on people.com, so I better go check that out.
Oh,
Yeah, do that. Cover it. I watched this guy on YouTube, and he goes through all the celebrities, and whatever, how much they're worth, shows off their homes. Christ,
Yeah.
some of them got 3, 4 homes. Hell, I just barely able to afford the taxes on my property. Can you imagine the taxes like in California, Florida, New York? Criminy, that's a different one.
California.
It's a condominium.
Could be living
What
on the
they
edge of the
did,
ball.
They took 4 apartments off the wall, put it as one unit, and made rooms off of it. And what the hell they charge for? Just, like an apartment. $400,000, $500,000, $600,000. They are absolutely nuts.
Was this Robin Leach that you're watching on YouTube?
I can't remember.
Lifestyles of the rich and famous. I'm Robin Leach.
No, not that.
Remember that?
Not that. Yeah, I
Like, they used
remember
to
that.
used
Yeah.
to watch people like on their cruise ships or what would like not their cruise ships, but
Yeah.
their yachts, yeah. But I mean 400,000 in New York City, I mean that's a deal if you're combining 4 apartments.
No, I'm just using that figure. 1.5 million for that. I'm just making a point, folks. We're all just playing retire.
The rate of inflation's insane.
It is. It is. It's absolutely nuts.
I remember
I
when you
tell
used to
you
be able
what,
to
I
buy
like to
a
have
can for a
to have
quarter.
that budget for Homeland Security, $167 billion. Come on, give me a break.
Pretty sure we gave more than that away for condoms to other countries. But you know,
No,
it's,
because a
that's
lot of
hearsay.
countries don't believe
How about
in birth control. So
Pakistani gender studies is important, Tom.
They do, as long as the United States supports it.
Let's get back on football, maybe. I'm gonna
I got
compare.
the right here.
Bill Belichick has won 6 Super Bowls. Bill Walsh won 2 with the 49ers, and Bill Walsh is in the Hall of Fame.
Innovator, which was really popular, and every team had to get their hands on that. West Coast fans. It's funny how they said it, West Coast. You know what? I haven't heard anything throughout my life about East Coast offense or defense.
That probably means they're not doing very well.
Yeah, it means that the East Coast, the teams from the line of the West Coast all the way to the East Coast copies the West Coast.
Could very well be.
And then it used to be the Dallas Cowboys way.
But yeah, they're doing pretty good.
They were, maybe. But
That's
no,
actually my brother's team.
who the hell was it? Lene would tell me, one of her employees, the store there, he was so tickled pink that the Seahawks won. In fact, he was wearing his jersey. And I asked Lene, where is he originally? No, wait a minute. I know. Doesn't matter where you're from.
Nope.
I can remember a late ex-brother-in-law of mine grew up in North Dakota, became a Packers fan. I couldn't quite get that drift. Minnesota is in between. What's the deal here? Haven't you ever heard of the Purple People Eaters?
He didn't look at the map very often.
I can't remember what is it. I think it was in a dispute because his dad was a Vikings fan. That's probably what it was. You know how young and to buy the old man. I'm surprised you're not another team fan.
I started out as a 49ers fan.
Yeah, because your brother was a 49ers fan.
Well, and then his name was Joe Montana, was the best quarterback. But I know you mentioned the Cowboys, so a former Cowboys player's son is going to play quarterback in the Pro Bowl.
I don't
Your
even know.
Sanders, but they're making a basketball.
Oh, yeah,
Luka
yeah,
got
yeah.
traded for a box of Lucky Charms, and Shador made the Pro Bowl. I'm going to go ask my boss for 6 figures since things are just happening for no reason.
Perfect. I hope it works out
Oh.
for him.
I hope I mean, you might as well ask your boss.
I heard that Lucky Charms just went bankrupt too. I don't know if that's coincidental or no, I really didn't.
They're owned by General Mills. That's a Minneapolis company.
No, they're not folding. How did that young man get into the Pro Bowls? Huh? Tell me. Just tell me how.
I think it's an
Aren't there-
indicator. This is an indicator of how low the Pro Bowl's gotten. I mean, I think it's any pro sport league, like the NBA All-Star Game, the NA. I mean, well, I think the NHL is like the only one that really matters. Like they actually have something on the line if you win or lose. Because the darn
Didn't the Pro Bowl got to almost, in fact, flag football?
I can't remember.
Seemed like
I
I
haven't-
heard something about, only had one flag. He didn't get them both. So, yeah.
I mean,
I-
I honestly haven't watched the Pro Bowl since probably 1996. So
I
I think
think the
Warren
last
Moon was
Pro-
the quarterback.
Huh?
I think Warren Moon was playing quarterback in the Pro Bowl.
Wasn't Dante Culpepper in the Pro Bowls? I think it was. Maybe not.
I'm sure, but
But-
I mean, I didn't watch it.
Well, I think the last Pro Bowl, I don't remember when, but it was not this past decade anyways. I just read and see of how many and who of the Vikings got. in the Pro.
This year, how many?
None.
You know how
Yeah.
many?
Can you repeat that?
0.
How did we make it through an NFL season without a Pro Bowl player?
I thought we were going to have one individual. Weren't you talking about that one week, Daniel? I thought we had one in there.
That was going to be in the Pro Bowl.
Yeah, I thought you talked about it.
The only one I was thinking that would have gone to the Pro Bowl would have been Harrison or Jonathan Gernard or Ben Ginkle.
Ben Ginkle, yeah.
How can it be none of them guys? Then Sanders is there.
Well, and he was picked for an alternate, but I mean, yeah, the Vikings didn't even get an alternate. But speaking of Grenard, what a segue. So this was in response to somebody posting about Sam Darnold making it to the Super Bowl the next year after he played for the Vikings.
Can't remember who it was that tweeted that, and he replied in 4 dots. Okay, dot. I don't know what it means. I heard something about it, and
Well,
get a real answer, or it wasn't a real answer. It was just kind of stuff that ran through my ear. Out the other year, I just quite didn't get it, even though I didn't. But anyways, it went through 1 year. Out the other, I just couldn't get the drift what the 4 dots mean.
But the whole issue with that is, yes, it sucks. We gave him up and he's going to the Super Bowl, but we couldn't have gotten anybody in free agency had we had to pay him. We wouldn't have Grenard. We wouldn't have, other players that we picked up that are really good. We wouldn't have them.
Well,
We would have had to give him the money.
Well, they said what did he get? 35 million or whatever a year or something like that. Well, it came out to 110 million or something like that. I don't know. These numbers are thrown out there and I'm trying to catch them in just because they're in the millions. I'm kind of wishing I had that kind of money. Just think what I could do for my family.
get a condo in New York.
Oh, hell no. Hell no.
No, but I think
Yeah,
they did
yeah.
offer him a $30 million, I think, for a year. I think they offered him money, and he, I think,
it down.
just turned it down because he didn't want to have to worry about JJ McCarthy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And the Seahawks were guaranteeing him the starting quarterback position, but the Vikings weren't. So, and
Part of
again,
it.
like I agree with John. At the time, I'm like, yeah, let him walk, because I saw how he performed against the Rams and the Lions.
Yeah.
And he just folded. And again, it might have been a questionable like play calling from KOC and not changing the way he's calling the game as the game progresses based on what the defense is doing.
Right. And that's part of it. That's where the comparison is. Bottom line is, even if, like you said, Joe, if Dark was with the Vikings this year, they might have got into a playoff, but it's kind of not the way what was going on with the O-line. Last year, the O-line wasn't great, but you didn't have a bunch of substitution because one Darisaw went down. They went out and got, what's his name, Robinson, right? Traded for him. And then, in like the backup tackle row line that they had last year, don't know, in comparison to what's his name, Skol, whoever it is, that don't know really which one is better. But I think toward the end of the season, when Skol was in there, he got better.
Yeah, they all do.
But, the bottom line is the O-line was in flux. The O-line last year wasn't the greatest, but they held up this year on the team.
He had quite a
Part of it
few.
is-
He had a lot of passing yards. Wasn't it 7,000 plus passing yards for Darnold? And like 40, 50 touchdowns for 2025?
I don't think it was 7,000. I think it was maybe a little over 4,000.
I think it was way up there by right around the 7,000 mark. Insane number. That's why it was hard to believe that they let him walk. But then again, they had a lot of
You're
stuff.
talking about for the Seahawks, or right?
No, for us, we like Darnold walk. Was that okay? I was wrong. I thought it was a lot higher than that.
Yeah, I think like 5,000's like
The highest any quarterback threw. That's why I couldn't catch or grab that 7,000. Sorry not to offend you, Tom. I know I know it's kind of hard to keep track of these numbers, especially if you get a bunch of thrown out there and you're trying to. I think quarterback on the average be lucky if he can throw 7,000 yards in 2 seasons.
Well, it was probably just a combination between Daniel Jones and
Darnold?
Darnold together. Yeah, is probably what I was referring to. But I mean, still, even at 4,000, that's still pretty impressive.
Well,
And he
yeah,
threw
it
for
is.
just over 4,000 this year, but only had 25 touchdowns and more interceptions. I mean, I think we can all say that with the way the Seahawks defense was playing towards the end of the year, that's the main reason the Seahawks are in the Super Bowl,
The defense.
and not
Oh,
all
yeah,
because of
absolutely.
Darnold. So
No, your defense has to work just as well as your offense. Otherwise, obviously nothing clicks the way it should.
Well, the thing is, I learned today too that between the Seahawks and the Vikings, where the Vikings ran the ball more than the Seahawks. But then on the other hand, who does the Seahawks have compared to who we have? The Seahawks more yardage than the Vikings did.
I didn't think we ran the ball enough.
Well,
We
we
could-
probably could have ran a little more, but it was more than last year, guys.
Yeah,
That's
but I
an
mean, just the way we
improvement.
played this year, they could have definitely ran more.
yeah, I just think with the injuries this year, the injuries year before last, when Cousins was still the quarterback, I mean, 2 of the seasons with KOC have been kinda almost, washes, right, kinda write them off just because Kirk Cousins was gone for half the year the one year, and then this year is everybody was injured.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we can
We can go back to this after the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
well, that's just it. I mean, we'll be picking next week.
Well, you know that after the Super Bowl, we just might be wishing that we be able to get a hold of Drake May. Who knows, huh?
Maybe.
Well, speaking of former Vikings, Stephon Diggs and Garrett Bradbury are in the Super Bowl, and we talked about Cooper being let go as the offensive line coach for the Vikings, and the way the Vikings offensive line played with whoever was in the game this year. But we have Garrett Bradbury, doing a lot better than he did last year, and then we had Ed Ingram, I think we talked about earlier in the season, both of them playing better than they did for the Vikings. So hopefully with the new Vikings, whoever they pick for the coach, they can develop players.
Yep.
Something I want to add about what's his name? God, what was the guard's name? That Ingram. Yeah, he was playing pretty good at first for the Texans, but his play dropped as the season went out or on. Bradbury, the reason why he's being effective is because when they run the ball, when he was drafted by the Vikings, it was wide zone
Called him
running.
the Grim Reacher for being
Yeah,
able to pull and stuff.
and be able to block. In O'Connell's system, it was not necessarily wide zone all the time. It was down the throat, off the tackle, whatever. So Bradbury, and also on top of that, he was more of a rushing center than pass because he wasn't very good at pass blocking. Simple. Found that out when they got Cousin, and yeah, at first they were doing the wise, but then Cousins start throwing the ball. Connell throws the ball. His pass protection. I remember O'Connell. That's his favorite scheme. Throw it. Hope you got a guy quick enough, good enough that could be in the hayfield by the time the ball comes down. Yeah. See, did I do that pretty good, or do we have to do a retake?
We could throw it in there twice. Why not? Let's see it again.
I was kind of just
Okay.
like, I was like, yeah, for some reason, like it was like I was being hypnotized. I don't know. And then all of a sudden,
Oh, it must be the waving of my hands.
the
this
clap at
stuff.
the end. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm a chicken in the hayfield. I thought you were talking about Hayfield, the city near, the town near, kind of near Rochester.
That could be too. I was talking about the distance from my driveway here.
Well, they do have the best wide receiver, the best NFL. Did anybody want to talk about Stephon Diggs?
Why?
How far is this? Over 100 yards. Coach would have put me in. I bet you I could throw this football over their mountain. Coach would have put me in 88. We would have won state. Anyone want to talk about Stephon Diggs' girlfriend?
Well,
I didn't hear about a girlfriend. I wasn't paying much attention to anybody's girlfriend. What about
you're
his
on the-
girlfriend?
Someone slipping slides. I don't know. What else.
Were you going back to Belichick's young girlfriend? No, I don't know nothing about Diggs' private life.
I remember.
I didn't even know he had a girlfriend.
What are you trying to insinuate? No, there was
Who,
that
me?
like back when Brian Robinson used to do what was it? What do you call it? 96 questions.
96 question because
Well,
that used to be
they
his
asked
number.
everybody in the locker room who they picked to least, or who would be the last person they'd pick to date their sister, and everybody picked
Right.
Stephon Diggs.
Yeah, I remember that.
That was they do now. It's like Tell Us with Metellus, and it's just like they're all shorts. They're not like 15-minute videos like Brian Robinson used to have.
Right. And well, every once in a while, it's in the city, do the 6 question, go around with the different players.
Yeah.
When he's up here for some reason or other, and it'll be a few episode that he done, I got a kick out of that.
Speaking of shorts, though, check out our shorts if you're watching this, or hopefully you'll watch our shorts or find our shorts and then come back and find the full podcast. But when we put them out or started putting them out, so check out the channel for those. It was a shameless plug, and that's the only reason why I was talking about the shorts. I was trying to get that to talk about. I'm not a professional. I just play one on TV. Should we talk about the scores for the championship game?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get winding down. So the Rams and the Seahawks, and we kind of talked about it. We already talked about the Seahawks going to the Super Bowl, but the Seahawks held on 31-27. That was actually a pretty decent game.
Yeah.
Did anyone watch it?
I watched part of it on NFL Plus after it was over.
I was just keeping track of the score, and I was kind of, come on, Rams, come on.
When I saw it was 13-10 was the last time I was checking the score. And I'm like, okay, this is because the Rams just took the lead. And I'm like, okay, well, the Seahawks are done. I thought the Rams were going to kind of put into high gear. Broncos Patriots, it was not a barn burner at all. 10-7 Patriots held on to win. And I think the Broncos had a chance, though. Didn't they? Like something with a field goal?
I don't know. I heard there was something, but the old C got shit canned. I saw that.
The Broncos
fired their old C.
Well, I mean, you're calling the game with your backup quarterback.
After 3 years. So, anyways, right, Patriots, I knew you were going to win. Yeah.
Now we can just watch our sheriff trying to find the serial killer in Wyoming. Remember from our talk about Peyton?
Oh, yeah.
So our picks. Somebody with 2 thumbs
Got it right, huh?
both picks right, and all you got 1 pick right. So I picked both the Pats and the Seahawks to win. Dad, you picked the Patriots and the Rams. Tom picked the Broncos and the Seahawks, and then John picked the Patriots and the Rams. So too bad I didn't win any cinnamon rolls.
Maybe.
I just can't have nice things.
Let's hope we're not saying that about the Vikings again next year.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, with what they did, the finish with a winning record, I mean.
Well, yeah, you got to give them credit for that much. If Packers, isn't it? If the Packers would have lost another, Vikings might have got, I don't know, something like that. I put that back, Jan.
Yeah.
And the filing cabinet because it's done gone. It doesn't matter.
Shoulda, woulda, coulda, right?
Yeah, that's the way it is, Football's a funny thing.
So is life.
Sometimes it can be.
Any final thoughts?
God bless America.
Let's go Vikings. Let's win the game.
Go Vikes.
Go Vikings. See everybody next time.
Go.